Hi everyone, this really cool Heygo rerun is from November of 2022, the Art of Rockefeller Center. So get out your easel and your paintbrushes and your sketchbook, and we hope you enjoy this tour.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome, everybody. Hopefully you hear us okay. I just realized the fountain behind us is making noise. Doesn't seem too loud, though.
No, I think we're...
Hopefully it's okay on your end.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening.
We're logging on a smidge late because I had to go to the Tinkletorium. My fault. Sorry, everybody. But welcome. I saw Dan, one of our fellow Heygo guides. Looks like Dan is on. Welcome, Dan.
Fantastic. Dan Coover. Dan Coover.
Are you using that, Dan?
Yeah, it's yours now, Dan.
Hi, Beverly.
If you don't already.
Hi, Gail and Pat. Hello, Jill. Yeah, Dan, you that's a
no-brainer.
Given.
Yeah.
Dan Coover.
For anyone, first of all, hello, welcome, everyone. I am Patrick.
And I'm Aaron.
And we're glad you're here. And we immediately see that our fantastic colleague, Dan, who does terrific Heygo tours in Vancouver, in and around Vancouver, he's really Vancouver Island.
Or is it Van in Vancouver? He goes by Van in Vancouver.
I don't get it.
Dan in Vancouver or Van in Vancouver?
Yeah, well, tomato.
I don't get it. It was bad. It was a bad joke. I confess.
Dan does terrific tours, so if you haven't, most of you probably know his tours, but just in case you don't, check Dan's tours out in Vancouver. He's really terrific. I just watched one a couple of weeks ago where he was up on this trellis, on a train trellis, and then speedily ran down the mountain to this beautiful view. And I mean, I can't believe how fast he went down there.
He ran? Oh. You ran?
I just lobbed that to him. I'm sorry, everyone.
Oh. Only of being chased.
Chased by a bear.
Chased by a bear.
Speedy Dan, that's right.
That's actually not true. I do jog every now and then. Charlotte was there. In person? Did you run down the hill too, Charlotte?
Wasn't that incredible, Charlotte? Watching Dan do that? I was like, I don't know that I would have gotten down there that fast. And I think he kept the content going while he was doing it, which was also incredible. Anyway.
We're a little over 4 minutes away from starting our tour. Hi, Natalie. About 4 minutes away from starting our Art of Rockefeller Center tour. The sounds of New York City.
Oh, yeah.
All around us.
Calm sounds, sirens and horns.
The fountain is kind of calm, actually.
Yeah,
calming.
That's true.
Sorry, cut you off.
Yeah, the tour has not started. Just if you're wondering, if you've signed on and you might be new to us. Also, if you are new to us, please let us know, because we always like to know. We had some newbies last night. Sharon and Katie B joined us last night.
I hope they stayed.
Sorry, this is going to be loud for a second.
Ambulance. Might see the lights. Oh, yep. We saw a quick glimpse of the lights through the hedge behind us. Hi, Rhonda and Neil and Michelle. Welcome, one and all, to our Art of Rockefeller Center tour.
Easy for you to say.
Our friend Peggy is walking by, but she didn't notice us. She's probably on her way to work.
Yeah.
She works on Broadway wardrobe. I know, weird, right, Dan?
Yeah, so strange.
So bizarre. We live in a first-floor apartment, so we get the sounds of New York in our apartment all the time.
We live on the ground floor apartment, so we also have our windows face the sidewalk. So we hear lots of late-night conversations.
Yeah. Sometimes it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get some good laughs out. There was a good one with children going by the other day that I didn't hear, but you picked up. I forget what it was now.
Oh, the kid asked a really funny question.
Yeah. We had our windows open. We could hear the young kid ask his dad something very funny. It was adorable as we were sitting on our sofa. Welcome, everybody. We're a little under 3 minutes away from starting, and it's going to be a lovely tour today. We have perfect crystal clear blue skies, 14 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 degrees Celsius, 58 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll get it. I'll get it eventually.
Oh, Jill and Dave. Well, we did lots of tours with you in lockdown. Hello. Oh, yes.
Aww.
Yeah, gosh, isn't that crazy to think of that long ago? Well, it wasn't that long ago, but we were, we had so many unanswered questions at that time that we wore masks, even like on our tours when we were just around people outside. Kind of crazy to think, now
Also-
we know so much more.
Also, is it Gil or is it Jill? Probably Jill. Jillian.
I'm guessing Jill, like short for Jillian. Is that, or do we have
that's
that
our
right?
guess. We just don't want to say it wrong. And Antia, yeah, exactly. Like this, why sunset? Yeah, she was mentioning adorable children's questions.
Between
Great to be back. Oh, thanks, Florence.
between you.
Oh,
Nice.
we don't know the Casey you speak of, but we'll have to check that
I
person out.
don't know who that is, but we'll look.
Yeah, by all means, get your New York
I
City.
know. It's fun to, if your pocketbook is not filled with cash, you can still travel on these Heygo tours.
Even if it is.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. No. We haven't started, Queen Ariel. Like, welcome. We're just saying hello to the viewers. Our tour begins in just over a minute.
11:15 on the dot.
11:15 New York time.
We start on the dot pretty much every single tour.
We try to.
Yeah. No, we don't wait for late seating like they do at the theater.
The camera's so cool. That's good.
Is that good or is it bad?
Yeah, well, it does add 10 pounds, so be careful
Yeah,
what you say there,
we'll put
Neil.
some Vaseline over a nice filter. Smooth out the wrinkles a little bit. But yeah, it is going to be a beautiful day today, and we're kind of pleased because we're hitting. We'll mention this as we go, but we're hitting Rockefeller Center just before it explodes into the holidays, so we get to see a final look of it before it's going to look completely different, and that's kind of nice. And of course, we'll be doing all sorts of our holiday tours throughout here as well, so you can see it then too.
There's a little bit of the Christmas decorations. You can see like how it's starting. The front of Saks Fifth Avenue has all of their light show in place. They haven't started their light show yet, but you can see that is there.
Hi, Hannah, and somebody said T&J, Terry and Jolene.
Oh,
Hi, Terry and
yay.
Jolene. Lots of regular folks joining in, and probably some newbies as well. And guess what? It's time to go.
Here we go.
It's 11:15 on the dot here in New York City. It is 14 degrees Celsius, 58 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's
But it's quite comfortable and lovely. The skies are clear and blue. The sun is shining. We're going to have some beautiful shots today of Rockefeller Center. A bit of a disclaimer about Rockefeller Center. There is so much art in and around Rockefeller Center that we will not be seeing it all on today's tour because there's just so much of it. So with this tour, we like to give some highlights and some of our favorite bits as we make around. But if you're coming to New York, feel free to get lost in and around Rockefeller Center and explore it because there's so much. Yeah, it is a live tour. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us during the tour. And it's a pretty leisurely walk today's tour, so we're pretty good about getting questions in. Also, we go in and out of buildings on today's tour, so we'll be going in and out of our mask. And for the most part, all the employees at Rockefeller Center have been so lovely to us as we do these tours. We just know there will be one day where a security guard will tell us we're going. Fingers crossed today is not the day, but we're just giving you that heads up because we do try to we push the boundaries on today's tour. So, Donna,
my goodness.
well,
Flattering us.
yeah. I think it's you.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry, just reading that. Yes, and also we're going to see lots of cool things on this tour, and you can save those pictures by clicking that center button in your screen. Anytime you see something that you like, just hit that center button, and that picture will be saved in your Heygo profile. You can share those with your family or friends, or show everyone where you've been traveling to virtually with Heygo.
At the top of your chat are 3 buttons. If you're having any technical issues, feel free to hit those 3 buttons to let Heygo know. Also, you can close the chat if you don't want to see it, if it's getting too busy, or if you just want a nice uninterrupted view. And if any questions pop up, we're usually pretty good about repeating the question before we answer it. For example, Queen Ariel says, will you be doing the Brookfield construction tour again? No, we're only doing it today. The construction event ends on Monday morning, and so we can only get it into our schedule today, unfortunately. So that's our only instance. which is today at 3:15, I think.
3:15
Yeah,
New York time.
we'll talk
yeah.
about that again at the end of the tour. But thanks for asking that. And questions? I think that's it.
Yeah.
You can close the chat.
Yeah.
We don't have too many pictures we're showing on today's tour because everything you'll be live and in person virtually. So I think that's it. Should we get going?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get going.
All right.
So, again, as I said, we're going in and out of buildings today. We'll be going in and out of our mask, and we'll see what security lets us do. But we are starting outside as your first glimpse of a little taste of Christmas. You're seeing Radio City Music Hall right now. They start performances with the Radio City Music Hall Spectacular starring the Rockettes. That starts next week. We will be going. It is one of our favorite events every single year. I have a couple friends in it as well. And so we're going to start over actually to the left of Radio City. You're going to see three pieces of art in the building. Radio City, by the way, opened December 1932, 6,000 seats, home to concerts, movies, events, the Christmas Spectacular known as the Rockettes that are there. Also inspired by the British precision dance group, the Tiller Girls. Began in St. Louis by as the Missouri Rockets. We're waiting for traffic to clear, by the way, before we cross. And they traveled to New York from Missouri, and they were discovered, and they kind of were usurped to become the headline at the Roxy Theater.
Still required in Broadway productions. It really depends on the show. Every producer has a different policy that's not really required for most Broadway shows anymore, but we have been to a couple of shows where they still require audience members to wear masks. So it depends, it's show to show.
Now, the first piece of art for the center, commissioned by John D. Rockefeller, by the way, I sort of neglected to mention that. John D. Rockefeller envisioned Rockefeller Center as a place for me, immersed in art and motifs that celebrated the best of human spirit. So the first pieces we're seeing are morning, present, and evening. RCA, the first nationwide radio network, was the first tenant of this building. So the panels are allegories of time, and they reflect radio's vast reach and its never-ending transmission. I also set the tone for the art here at Radio City. So you see this Art Deco sense. Radio was kind of a recent development in America, and the Rockefellers wanted to highlight its importance. And Art Deco was also very much in, so it was, and a little bit ahead of its time. So it made sense that they would move to this. Jennifer, this particular piece, Jennifer's asking if this is based on a real model. Probably. We don't have that information. We've not seen that information of who it's based on, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Also, Queen Ariel, maybe you missed our answer before, but sadly we're only construction tour today because it ends on Monday.
Again, morning, present, and evening. So this would be present, and then we would move towards evening. So again, John D. Rockefeller envisioned this center as a place for New Yorkers to be immersed in art, which you're going to see it all around us, on the buildings, in the buildings, all. There is permanent art. There's also temporary art. It consists of sculptures, murals, carvings, reliefs, architectural styles, modern-day installations, and we're going to see a big mix of both. We're going to see some of the permanent art that's always here and some of the temporary art as well.
I'm just going to turn the camera sideways while we're right at the marquee of Radio City. So you have not lost your marbles. I've just turned the camera sideways so you can get the whole marquee of Radio City in, and then you can edit that picture later if you want to grab a picture of that, and it can be right side up. All right, there you go.
So the Rockettes begin performances here next week, and it truly is, as it's known as the Radio City Music Hall Christmas Spectacular. It is spectacular. It's a massive show. Now, underneath the marquee, we're going to show you, to kind of fight the crowd a little bit, but we're going to show you some kind of reliefs under here. They're known as acts from vaudeville, and you'll see them in the stonework up there, these kind of brass pieces. These are by René Paul Chambellan. There are 6 of them, these kind of playful plaques that indicate the entertainment that lies ahead as you make your way into Radio City. Each one depicts a different style, different scene, I should say, typical of the international ethnic performances of the early 20th century. So there's the Rockettes, which you're going to see coming into view just to the right of this wreath right there. There's the Rockettes. We've also seen a cellist. There's a German accordionist. So Chambellan, who did quite a bit of work, you're going to hear that name come up quite a bit today. Oh, thanks, Brenda. I don't know if you mean us or the Rockettes, but either way, we'll say thanks. But did quite a bit here, and he also modeled a lot of the architectural detail. In fact, can we just show above this Lord of the Rings? Well, now it's switched, but you can see this right here. Even this sort of stuff right here. This is Rene Paul Chambellan as well. That detail that's all over Rockefeller Center that is really just architectural detail, but it's of art as well. I guess you call it architecture. I'm trying to come up with a new term there for us. So we're crossing 50th Street. I think we got it.
Yeah.
This gentleman in the BMW will let us go. He's nice. I know him. I don't know him, but he will pretend like it. And now you have to bear with us just a little bit. We're going to go out into the street. Well, we don't really have the light, so maybe should we do the mosaic first?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the mosaic here. Then once we get the light, we'll go out into the street and show you the building, show you some of the carvings on the building from above. So the mosaic we're showing you right now is known as Intelligence Awakening Mankind. This is by Barry Faulkner. I hope that the colors are showing up on your screen. The gold, the light hits the gold, and it's really quite special as we make our way through this area. It's a mosaic of small glass tiles in over 250 colors, each one hand-cut, each one hand-set. The message is that thought will propagate new knowledge and advance civilization. You'll see religion and drama and music, news, politics, poetry. And as we make our way to the middle, you'll see thought right there, also known as intelligence. And intelligence is controlling all the action. Written words, spoken words, physics, biology, publicity, philosophy, hygiene. So the other figures are meant to symbolize spoken words or written words, creativity, intellectual efforts. We've got the light. The mural, Judy, is called Intelligence Awakening Mankind. And we'll...
Oh, so sorry. My button hit the gimbal.
Yep.
So sorry, everyone.
We'll come back to that mural in just a second, but because we have the light, we're going to cross and cross back so that we can show you the carvings on the outside of this building. You also see the entrance to the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, which is where we were just standing under. Here comes a biker. He's going the other way. He went out of the bike lane. Okay. We've actually never done this with the Zoom before, I don't think.
Oh, I don't think
so we
so
can
either.
actually show these carvings that are above us right up there. So the carvings are known as aspects of mankind. There's 4 allegorical stone carvings expressing the ideal aspects of the development of modern civilization. Now, these are by artist Gaston Lachaise. So we have electricity and communications, an acknowledgement of spirituality, a reference to the bond between capitalism and unions, which was very apparent at the time of the building of Rockefeller Center. City Center is a complex north of us. Lachaise wasn't very popular amongst art critics, but was championed by the Rockefellers, who were great supporters of avant-garde artists. So that's one terrific thing the Rockefellers did. They brought in a lot of incredible artists to this area, some of whom were controversial at the time, which we'll talk a little bit about as we make our way through. So now we're heading into, you're going to see the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. We're into Rockefeller Center, 1250 6th Ave. We'll give you one more glimpse of the Intelligence Awakening Mankind. Somebody asked if it was Icarus on the far right. I think it is, actually. Getting too close to the sun.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. He's not flying, so I'm not sure.
He is not flying, it's true.
He's not, he flies a horse or something.
All right, so I'm going to take a camera so that we can both get through the turnstile, and we're going to all head on inside. Join us as we make our way in. I know, agreed. Somebody, let's see. Tracy says, so sad many people don't look up to see these details. I couldn't agree more. It is such a bummer. Most people just walk right on by. All right, so we're inside right now. Now, I mentioned that there's permanent art and temporary art all throughout Rockefeller Center. So we're going to show you a little bit of the temporary art right now. It's a program known as Art in Focus, and this is with a presentation of work by the multidisciplinary artist Argavan Khosravi. This was only supposed to be here through November 4th, but they kept it a little bit longer, which we're pleased with because it means we get to show it off. So Argavan is a U.S.-based Iranian artist known for her sculptural multi-paneled paintings, making her a perfect candidate for the artwork here at Rockefeller Center because they do usually put them on these panels all throughout the corridors that we're seeing right now and around the whole area. Symbolism, metaphor, abstraction, they're all essential aspects to her work. She expresses her original narrative through indirect but symbolic language with the intention to leave a little bit of space for the audience to come up with their own interpretations on what they're seeing. And we'll see a couple more works by her as we make our way through. They've started to take some of them down. Again, it was only supposed to be up until November 4th, but they've kept it up a little bit longer, and I think now they're taking some of it down to get ready for the holidays.
We are strolling east right now on the south corridor in Rockefeller Center, and see lots of folks shopping and getting ready for the holidays, I suppose.
Now, Rockefeller Center is about 22 acres in total. It's between 5th and 6th Avenues and 48th and 51st Street. It's comprised of 19 buildings, businesses, television studios, shops, restaurants. The Today Show is here, the Tonight Show. You already saw the entrance to the Tonight Show. We're going to see a bit of the Today Show in just a little bit. Of course, Radio City Music Hall, which you also saw. Saturday Night Live is here. And the skating rink, which we'll see. It's got a massive underground concourse with restaurants, shops, post office, subway entrance. We're going to pop outside again just to show off a bit of artwork that's out here right now. You're going to see Christie's art auction. They're doing an auction of Paul Allen, one of the co-founders of Microsoft. They're doing an auction of his work. But we really want to show you right here a typewriter eraser. Anybody remember these? But this is a giant, large-scale typewriter eraser. Oh, they're moving over too. Why is everybody coming towards us? Sorry, a husband and wife are arguing about which car is their Uber right next to us. So this is by Klaus Oldenburg and his wife, Huse van Bruggen. Oldenburg also did the shuttlecocks that we showed off. If any of you with us during the Kansas City Sculpture Garden tour that we did about a year ago, actually. The shuttlecocks were his. This is about 19 feet tall or 5.8 meters. And yes, Susan, someone who exactly. That's perfect. But this is the entrance to Christie's, the art auction house. And again, they're doing an auction right now. I think it's today and tomorrow of Paul Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft. One of the largest, the largest art auction ever.
Show a shot of 30 Rock here. The side view of 30 Rock. Look at that blue sky. Oh my gosh.
Top of the Rock is all the way up there, a great observation deck. It is Linda, you definitely remember those, the shuttlecocks, I'm assuming you mean. Or you remember typewriter racers, that's probably what you remember. Okay, so we're just going to wait for some traffic to cross, which is more than what we want. Oh, sorry.
I didn't see you.
We were looking different ways. And New York City bus go directly in front of you in just a couple seconds. Here it comes. There. Hello. And you see us in the mirror reflection very briefly. And so we're going to go back inside, and then we're going to move to the North Corridor and talk about some of the artwork on the North Corridor as we wind our way, continuing through Rockefeller Center.
Yes, indeed. Neil, the room is up there as well.
Which we've never been to. We really want to go. But it's a private event space now. Sometimes they have public events. They did one for Halloween that was kind of a pricey ticket. It was drinks and food, and you got to see the movie Halloween. which we neglect to pay for that. And then they have a holiday. You can watch the Christmas tree lighting from there as well. And I looked into tickets for it. I thought, wait, what if we got tickets to watch the Christmas tree lighting, and we did it for... The tickets are $1,000 each, so we love you so much, but that was a little pricey for us. It does include food and drinks, but I don't know that I could eat and drink that much.
$1,000.
I would certainly try, especially if they had chocolates. I'd be like shoving in my pockets. I'm making up our $1,000 worth. So now we're on the North Corridor, and so again, let's go back to a little bit of history. Rockefeller Center construction began in 1931. It was one of the greatest projects during the Great Depression. Originally, it was intended to be the new site for the Metropolitan Opera. Plans started in 1928, but after the stock market crash, the opera couldn't afford to move. And John D. Rockefeller, who was helping support the Met, didn't want to lose the money, so he quickly developed new plans. Here's another piece right here by Argivan Kostravi. I think this is the last one we see of her today. We might see a couple more surprise ones. But again, her work was only supposed to be up until November 4th, but they're getting ready to change everything over to Christmas. Welcome, Amy and Jay. So RCA, once John D. Rockefeller decided on these new plans, RCA decided to lease the site. Think of NBC, RKO. And it all has this Art Deco feel peppered all throughout. Now we're in the North Corridor. These beautiful murals you're seeing right here are by Jose Maria Sert. It's known as The Abolition of Bondage, and it depicts slaves being free. There's another one known as The Conquest of Disease, which depicts doctors inoculating lines of people to prevent smallpox, specifically created to ease the fears of that vaccine. Kind of remarkable to think about right now, how history sort of repeats itself in a way. And then there's another one known as the Abolition of War, which expresses the elation felt at the end of war. And another one known as the Spirit of Dance, expressing the joy and release from the problems of the world. And as we make our way into the main lobby, we're going to look up, which we were talking about earlier.
Neil, I don't know, is that brass in the inlaid? It might be.
It does look like it. Yeah, with a little bit of maybe polished granite in there. It might
be. There is lots of brass all around, in and around the building. So.
And that's all that René Paul Chambellan, who we talked about earlier before, the outside of Radio City, did all of this grill work, all the handrails, which is great detail, but really artistic. So now we're going to look at the ceiling, which is known as time. Depicts titans symbolizing three aspects of time: past, present, and future. And this is the entire ceiling. Look how massive it is. It's really, Angel agreed. It's just a beautiful, beautiful building with these beautiful artworks all over it. Now, as you look at the ceiling, I'll start to talk about the mural that's behind us, because originally there was a mural there by Diego de Rivera called The Man at the Crossroads, but the Rockefellers ended up firing him or sort of letting him go. They didn't necessarily want to, but there was a lot of pushback about it, because there was Lenin was a principal figure in there. So they destroyed that mural in 1934, and they hired Jose Maria Sart to create this mural, which is known as American Progress. Does anybody see one of our American presidents in there? You might see also Ralph Waldo Emerson. See if we get anybody putting in the chat an American president. Oh, thumbs up, which means you see. Yeah, Abraham. There you go. Abraham Lincoln right in there. Gandhi is also in there, of course, with a bunch of Rockefeller Center skyscrapers in the background. Again, it's called American Progress, and it depicts the development of America through unity, the unity of brawn and brain, which I think is quite interesting, considering the mural on the west side of the building is all about just the brain, and this one depicts a little bit more of the brawn as well.
Neil, we thought we saw your likeness there in that mural.
All right, Patrick's going to go ahead of us. Goodbye, Patrick. For those of you that don't know, he usually attached. The microphone is on me, wired, so we have to split up every now and then. I'm going to demask for a second. Your first glimpse of Rockefeller Center right here. Or I should say the main heart of Rockefeller Center that we sort of think about in TV shows and movies. And we're going to make our way over to where NBC News is located. You're going to see the Today Show over here as well. In fact, we probably just missed Hoda Kotb and Jenna.
I think they were just
Heygo
finishing up.
Yeah.
You might see some marigolds all around left over from... Did you just say that?
No.
Oh, yeah, these marigolds we thought would be gone by now, but they're leaving them here for a little while longer, I guess, until they get all of the Christmas decorations up. But this is leftover from our Dia de los Muertos tour.
And the Christmas tree arrives on Saturday, so that's when we'll really see, starting Saturday, the next 2 weeks, Rockefeller Center will transform into a holiday spectacular. Queen Ariel says, you sent us a message on Facebook. Okay, we'll take a look. We sometimes miss messages because there's a bunch on there, but we'll take a look. So now what we're going to do, actually I'm going to mask up again, we're going to head inside this building and we'll see the history of transportation, a terrific mural that has a similar feel to what we saw, but quite a different color and look as well. So bear with us as we mask up. I'll take the gimbal. There we go. All right, so bear with us as we make our way in. I'm going to let a few people cross. Patrick is ahead of us again. So this week we could get kicked out of here because they had security in here earlier. We'll see, but we want to show you this terrific mural that's in here, again, called The History of Transportation. This was commissioned after World War II. It's by artist Dean Cornwall. And he created this mural depicting the advances in transportation after World War II. So it's got different subtitles as it makes its way around: the night flight, the New World Unity, and the day flight. And part of the reason that there's so many references to flight, to airplanes, to air travel in here, is that Eastern Airlines was the primary tenant of this building when the mural was put in. So it made sense that they would sort of give an homage to Eastern Airlines. Our signal's dipped a little bit in here, but hopefully you're still seeing it okay as we make our way through. You'll also see a couple works, again, by the art and focused artist who's all over, Argivan Kostravi. Another piece right here. Oh, good. Wow, amazing, says Carol. So we must not have lost you too much with our signal dip. It must still be strong enough that you can see a little bit, so that's good. Former race car Eddie Rickenbacker, who was also president of airlines, is also depicted in the mural. It's really stunning.
Yeah.
The maroon, the burgundy with that gold. It's not a shiny gold, by the way, just so you know. The camera is not lying to you. It's kind of a dull gold, unlike the mosaic that we saw at The Awakening of Mankind. Okay, we're going to head back outside. All right. So, by the way, where you're looking right now, I forgot. We'll go over here.
Yeah.
I want to show something before we leave this plaza, but where we're at right now, directly right now, is where the concerts happen for the Today Show. If you've ever seen the Today Show happening on their morning show, they happen right here. But right across from that entrance that they, you'll see flanking this entrance right here, there's two works. They're known as Industry and Agriculture. And this is one Rockefeller Center right here, Rockefeller Plaza. Two large carvings. They represent the commercial activities of industry as well as agriculture. So industry is depicted holding the shovel. Agriculture is depicting holding the scythe. It's a common Art Deco theme, by the way, to show this sort of straightforward interpretation of workers and their work, as seen so perfectly right here. A sort of sledgehammer or shovel. It's really, I think, supposed to be a shovel going into the that bottom layer there. We're going to move away from it because our signal doesn't like this area. And then hopefully our signal will kick back in. Welcome, Devorah. We're running from a bad signal. Stay with us. And we're going to show you a lot more artwork as we make our way around, in and around Rockefeller Center. The next one will be called Progress. We're going to turn the corner right here on 49th Street. And we'll show you a mural that's above an entrance over here, known as Progress. Neil, is it a shovel for groundbreaking? Honestly, I think it's not so much about the groundbreaking as it is just about different workers doing their jobs. Because agriculture is right across from us, and there wasn't really much agriculture in this area when Rockefeller Center went up, I would assume it doesn't have to do with, it's not site-specific. And our signal likes us again a little bit, so hopefully it's okay on your end. So right here we have Progress. This is by Lou Lowry and colorist Leon Salon. It's an icon of the Art Deco style. It depicts Columbia, a traditional female symbol of America, holding an olive branch there in her right hand. And in the left, it's the flame of divine fire. Kind of looks like a bowl, but it's a flame coming out of that bowl. And then you see the Pegasus behind her, a symbol for inspiration, and the eagle in front symbolizing power.
All right.
Think we got it to cross?
Yeah, let's cross.
Okay, they might have just gotten the green light.
Sorry,
Let's go for it.
We're
going. Everybody stay with us. Okay. So we're crossing back into the heart of Rockefeller Center. Notice the flags that are going to be all the way up and around basically the area of the ice rink. So these are put up for the Visionary collection that's being sold at Christie's, which is the art auction house where we showed the giant typewriter eraser just a few minutes ago. That art auction is from the Paul Allen collection. Paul Allen, of course, one of the co-founders of Microsoft. And it's the biggest sale in auction history. So these flags depict some of the artwork that will be on sale in that auction. Kind of remarkable. Phew, our signal has popped back up.
Yeah, our signal's starting to creep back up, so hopefully
we stay strong. Yeah. All right, so this is the entrance to 30 Rock. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the television show 30 Rock, so this might look quite familiar. What we really want to show is that and talk about is that artwork right there in the middle, though. So on either side, we have sound and light. So we have sound on the left side. Light will ultimately be on the right, but with sound, you see his voice is depicted as those circles emanating from his mouth. And these are by Lou Lowry and colorist Leon Salon, who we talked about just a little bit ago. On the right side, you're going to see light coming into view, emerging from clouds and sending electrical images through the air. These are, of course, they herald the advent of sound, radio, and light, the motion picture industry. And then smack dab in the middle, we have wisdom. Again, totally appropriate that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times is directly opposite from the other end of the building, where we have, of course, another piece of art that is iconically about intelligence, which is called Intelligence Awakening Mankind, the mural we showed underneath the entrance of The Tonight Show. So this one right here, this beautiful Art Deco icon, this is also designed by Lee Lowry, coloring by Leon Salon. Wisdom is considered the creative power of the universe, meant to convey strength and power over man. And they're just, this entrance is stunning. That area underneath Wisdom, by the way, is all glass. So it lets light into the lobby.
Yeah.
It's really quite stunning.
Absolutely. I'm going to give you a shot up here of, again, 30 Rock from the plaza side.
Whoa. Whoa. Top of the Rock, of course, is up there, a terrific observation deck. And we're just going to back up a little bit and point down, because this is the last time for about 2 months that you'll see this plaque right here coming into view. Here we go. Christmas tree, Rockefeller Center. So on Saturday, the Christmas tree arrives, and it'll go right here. So this is the last time we'll see this plaque for about 2 months before it disappears, because the tree is about to arrive.
Yeah, when the tree goes up, we will not be able to see through that alley to Saks Fifth Avenue, because the tree it's pretty big.
Wendy says, I visited here recently and didn't remember all the artwork. You know, there's so much to take in New York, Wendy. No one can fault you. We're New Yorkers and we miss so much, because you're watching traffic, watching pedestrians, you're people watching, you're taking everything in, you're trying to follow directions, and so it's easy to miss all this. So I'm glad we can, point it out. So
Justin, yes, the tree was cut down this morning.
Gets here Saturday. Very exciting. And we'll talk all about the tree on our holiday tours that are coming up. but it has been here for 8 decades. Here's the skating rink. This was became a roller skating rink over the summer for the first time. Skating has been happening here for a couple weeks right now already. And as the camera makes its, kind of pans over, you'll start to see Prometheus come into view by Paul Manship. Prometheus is in gilded cast in bronze, 1934. It's the Greek legend of Prometheus bringing fire to mankind by stealing it from the chariot of the sun. So the Christmas tree will go directly behind Prometheus. We were standing and we showed you that plaque just a little bit ago. It is a private road, Neil. It's like a plaza, so there's no traffic where we were standing where the tree was. Neil was asking if they'd have to close it down.
Right, that little walkway never has traffic on it. It's always a walking plaza. And somebody else asked, Gail, how long is there ice on the rink?
Gail, I'm not sure when they're closing it this year, but it lasts always much longer than what you think.
Even the warmer, when it starts to get warmer, there's still ice skating.
Yeah. Angel, I'm so sorry. If it was blurry, that must have meant we had a signal dip over there. So we can't make our way back to the plaque right now. But maybe we'll try to put a picture of it up on the Facebook Voyagers page. Or if somebody else got a good postcard, we'll share it that way.
Yeah, maybe if somebody could share them, Joel, if you got a good shot of the plaque.
We also kind of have to keep our tour moving because it's a busy Heygo day. We don't want to overlap with too many guides that are after us. Try to be considerate. So we're going to cross over directly across the street from where the tree is. And you're going to see a building with a clock between 2 American flags to your left by Lee Lowry and colorist Leon Salon right there. Massive carved limestone screen underneath the clock. It is meant to look almost like a screen in a way. Oh, Tracy said you got a crystal clear. Okay, so it was clear on your end. So maybe some folks will post it, Angel, that postcard, and you can swipe a postcard on Facebook of it. So it's this massive carved limestone screen. It's divided into 15 rectangles that Lowry calls hieroglyphs. Some of the images you'll see in there chronicle mankind's progress. The ship indicates international trade. This is the international building, by the way, so it's quite appropriate that it would have much more of an international theme on it. Depicts different races of mankind. The lions that you can see one in the bottom right corner. They depict kingdoms of the world, different kingdoms of the world.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I'm also just going to do a quick long shot here, just so we can get the whole thing in. If you want to snap a picture of the long shot, you can edit that later.
You can also edit out that gentleman in the orange jacket. Although, don't edit out his jacket because I really like it, and I wonder if he'll give it to me. He's a little more slight than me. So, Nina, that was carved, again, by the same folks we've been mentioning quite a bit, Lee Lowry, and the colors by Leon Salon. And they also did, right above this entrance right here, swords and plowshares. It's an appeal for world peace. It's a reference to Isaiah 2:4, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So it's a reference to peace. Another reference to peace right here is Columbia greeting a woman and boatman unfurling a sail, also by Lee Lowry. I neglected to say that Lee was German-born, but an American artist, and this is also an appeal for world peace. It features Columbia, a feminine symbol of America, welcoming an immigrant to America. Skyscrapers are meant to be the new world. You can kind of see those depicted in there, and the ship is freedom.
Sandra, all the flags around are they change all the time, but they're currently up for an auction that Christie's is putting on.
So, second, we have a couple carts going right in front of us. Dean, we're very fortunate. Dean says you guys are very knowledgeable. We're very fortunate that Radio City wants people to know about this art. So they have a lot of information posted about it. This one is called The Immigrants by Giacomo Mansu, and it depicts a weary, barefoot mother and her child. It represents an Italian woman who, after the war and loss of so many Italian men and homes, left Italy to seek new beginnings in America, as did so many people before and after the war. Yeah, Nicolette, I agree. The way the Rockefellers selected artists to come to this center and depict so many beautiful symbols, I think is really special and kind of timeless. The foresight that they had is remarkable. So we're going to cross the street, and on this building, you're going to see this bus clears the Arms of England. Again, this is by Lee Lowry, Leon Salon. 3 gilded Passant Garden lions, walking lions looking out of the shield. So it's as if they're on a shield looking out. And this reinforces the presence of the building's primary tenant at the time, which was the British monarchy. Originally, this hosted governmental and commercial ventures of the United Kingdom. Now it's primarily retail and some offices there as well.
I just want to point out, because Neil mentioned it earlier, these brass plates even outside on the sidewalk. I think there was a tree there that probably died, but they surround the trees all along the sidewalk, these brass plates.
R.I.P. to the tree. And that would also be by that same René Paul Chamelin who we mentioned, those pieces right in front of Radio City, did all the grading and the handrails and all of that. Dan, we're talking about 30s, 40s. Most of the artwork would have been around that time, coming into play, basically.
That's, of course, St. Patrick's, which we're going to see, but before we show a nice shot of that, we're going to come over here and show 2 more pieces of art.
Do you want to do this one first? Yeah, okay. So we're going to back up just a little bit. This one gets tricky to get in, so we'll do... but this is now the front side of that British Empire building. So above the doors are 9 gilded allegorical figures depicted on the bronze panel. These are by Carl Paul Genvine, an American artist but German-born, and it represents industries that were considered major sources of income for the British Empire. So coal, fish, salt, tobacco, wool, also wool mainly meaning from Australia, because then it's the British Empire, so we have wheat then from Canada, cotton in Africa.
Sugar, yeah.
Yep, sugar.
I'm going to go sideways just for a second, because this is such a large art piece.
We only had enough money to pay half of our lighting department today, by the way, which is why only half of it's lit.
Once again, that's just so you can get that picture, all of it in, and then you can edit that later. All right.
Now we're going to show you one more facade before we make our way back to St. Paul's. I see them with lots of tape measures out here. I wonder if this is all part of the Rockefeller Center tree planning.
Yeah.
They look all very official, tape measures, everything. I bet it's the case. So where we're headed right now is to Les Maisons Forcées. Originally, the French tenants were all over this building. You're going to get a great view of it coming into view right now. Bronze engravings above the entrance. Now, these depict personifications of France and New York holding hands across an ocean. And you can see it really at the top there, their hands in the middle. Again, mainly there were French tenants in this building originally, which is why it has such a French theme. There's the 2 hands I was talking about, holding hands across an ocean. 2 different style ships. All right, so we're going to make our way back to St. Paul's Cathedral. Not St. Paul. Well, here we are in London all of a sudden. I've switched cities for us. St. Patrick's Cathedral. Thank you, Patrick. I can't talk. We'll be back here for our holiday tour, of course. We'll do some great shots of that. But St. Patrick's Cathedral is in the neo-Gothic style. It was erected in 1879 by James Renwick Jr., who also did the Smithsonian Institution building in D.C., did the main building at Vassar and Poughkeepsie, St. Bartholomew's Church here in Manhattan. It's made of brick, clad in marble, all from the Northeast. F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda got married here. Really a terrific, iconic building.
I'm going to do just one more of these long shots. Just bear with me. There we go. That's a nice shot with the 2.
That's lovely. With the blue skies behind it. And we'll do a shot when we get in front of it as well. We'll stop over there by the Atlas sculpture, which will be our next sculpture that we're going to see. We have just a couple more pieces of art, and then we're done with today's tour. We have about 5 minutes left. So Atlas, who we'll see shortly, is a Sorry, we're getting around. Why? Because we're having too much fun on Heygo. All right, so Atlas, you're going to see coming into view here shortly, a very successful collaboration between some of the names we've been hearing today, Lee Lowry and Rene Paul Chambellan, a collaboration between both of them. 1937, bronze statue based on a sketch by Chambellan. The sculpture is 15 feet tall, or 4.5 meters, but with the base, it's 45 feet tall, or 14 meters. God, and led a war against the Olympic gods. And then after his defeat, he was condemned to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders as his punishment. And you can see that right there. So now we're going to go behind, and you'll get a terrific shot of St. Patrick's, not St. Paul's, St. Patrick's Cathedral through through the Atlas statue. It's really a terrific shot before we head into 630 Fifth Avenue, another part of Rockefeller Center. Oh, beautiful with the blue skies today.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to mask up, take your last postcard shots of this before we head in.
All right.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to take the, it is lovely weather, Angel. Somebody said the sound is cutting out. Is it okay for everybody else? Maybe it's just on one end. Maybe a refresh. Thumbs up. So maybe give a refresh for the sound. Now, it could dip a little bit inside here because we're now back inside a building, but we do want to show this off. We're now inside another part of Rockefeller Center, one of the buildings. This is called Light and Movement. It's by Michio Ahara. So this was commissioned by Nelson Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller Jr.'s son, commissioned in 1978. So this piece came much later than everything else we saw. Nearly 1,600 rectangular metal leaves with gold patinas attached to these vertical stainless steel cables. You can kind of see the cables going through there as well. And it's about 14 degrees Celsius, 58 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yep.
Although we're inside right now, so it's probably a comfortable 70 degrees in here. So you'll see some of these, more of these gold leaves as we make our way around.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's really terrific.
Just one more. We're heading down the last quarter. We have just about 2 more minutes left, and then we'll end our tour.
And I will say, Anne, that part of the reason that lobby looks the way it is they wanted to make it a little bit more warm when the 70s came. They wanted to there wasn't much art there, and they wanted to make it a little warmer. So maybe that's why you asked what the temperature was, because you felt warm from that artwork by Michio Ahara, which I wouldn't blame you at all. Tanya's asking, is there a roof garden? Not on this building. It's on the building, there's one on the building next to us.
30 Rock, yeah.
Yeah, but then there's the shorter one, too,
right,
that
right.
overlooks Fifth Avenue. Yeah, 30 Rock has the rooftop as well. But then there's another one that overlooks Fifth Avenue that is usually private. I did get to go there for an event one time that was pretty cool. All right, so Patrick's going to leave us. No, come back. And we're going to show one last piece of artwork where we're going to end our tour out here today. He's back. There we go. Oh, Eileen, I love that she says the streets are so clean in New York. I'm glad that it looks that way. I think for the most part it's that way. We don't always feel that way, but for the most part. So the last piece we want to show here is called News. This is by Isamu Noguchi, and this symbolizes the building's former tenant, the Associated Press. So the Associated Press used to be right here at 50 Rockefeller Center, and the artwork depicts, you might be able to make it out, 5 journalists, and the idea is that they're focused on getting the scoop. You can see the one in the upper left corner has a camera up at his or her eye. The one in the bottom corner is holding a telephone. The one on kind of the upper right is typing. The one on the lower left is writing something, and the one in the middle seems to just be scouring for news. So they're trying to get the scoop. And the lines emanating from it depict the AP's worldwide network, or the Associated Press. This is the only time Noguchi, by the way, used stainless steel as a medium. Only time, so it's kind of unique that it's here. And this is our last piece on today's tour. Sharon asks, when are you having your holiday tour? I enjoy your tours. Well, thanks, Sharon. And what a perfect segue at the end of our tour. So our very first holiday tour here at Rockefeller Center is on December 1st. They don't light the tree until November 30th. So our first one's December 1st, but I think, do we have a Christmas market before that?
Oh.
I think we might. I'll look.
Yeah. You can always check out, Sharon, our channel page. That's heygo.com/Aaron and Patrick. And you can get our full schedule there. We just put in the last 4 or 5 days, we put in lots of tours. So you can get all of that there. Do we have our social media page on here?
Yes, I think we do.
Oh, great. I'm putting in the chat right now. That's all of our the ways in which you can follow us: our Instagram, Facebook, Heygo, all of the things. Our email. So you can check out everything there and get all the information you need.
Yes. So November 21st is our first holiday market tour, which will be Grand Central's market as well as the Bryant Park Winter Village. I don't want to go too far because this is where we got spotty.
This is a weird signal.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we back up.
Yeah, we're just gonna. That was the weird signal area ahead of us. We also we're very excited. I think just this morning. Now I can't remember because I didn't have enough coffee. But I think it was just this morning we put up. We're gonna go to see the balloons being inflated.
Oh, yeah,
for
that's
the
an exciting
Macy's
tour.
Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade happens on Thanksgiving Day, which happens, it's a holiday here in the States. And so the night before the parade, they blow up the balloons on the Upper West Side. So we're going to try to go as they're blowing up the balloons, inflating all the Thanksgiving parade balloons the day before. And that's kind of a fun thing to do.
That's November 23rd at 2:30 p.m. our time. And then we have 3 unique tours this week, all ahead of us. This afternoon, we're going to see Canstruction. Canstruction is a terrific event that raises money and awareness and food for City Harvest, an organization in New York City that's committed to trying to take care of hunger issues.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
for
that's
a good cause, so come check out our cans.
But it'll be these terrific large-scale sculptures all made of canned goods. That's just in a few hours today. And then tomorrow we're doing our Veterans Day tour. And on Saturday we're going to the Statue of Liberty.
It's very exciting. It's an exciting week for us on Heygo.
We should move again.
Oh my goodness.
We're in a spot that was perfect just a minute ago, and our signal just dipped again. So we're going to move until we see a green happy signal on our end. So we can say goodbye with a nice clean signal. So Statue of Liberty's on Saturday, and we're super excited about that.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us today. We love doing these tours. It really has, it's kind of been a godsend over the last couple of years, just to be able to connect with people at a time when we're all staying so safe still, a lot of us. And a lot of our viewers are continuing to stay safe and staying home. And alone, some of our viewers. And please know that you're never alone on Heygo. You have us. You have all of these fantastic places you can go. Go visit Dan in Vancouver. He does terrific tours. If he's still here, go check his tours out because he's just a terrific guide. And we all get to stay connected through this platform, which is a nice thing, especially at this crazy time.
We'll see you at Canstruction this afternoon for those of you that can join us.
Yeah. We'll leave you with our final mural here. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. And we'll see you all very soon. Take care.